Alright, this is Mark, and this is our new Bendy's rig. And what this is a platform for you to essentially make things fly, or if you want to use this as a surface gauge as well, you can. It's made from PLA 3D printed plastic, and each one of these takes about maybe, I would say, somewhere around 9 hours to print. And the way it's designed is, it looks really bizarre like this, but all these parts here can be loosened or tightened so that you can reposition the entire thing however you need. There's all these holes all over the entire rig. These holes correspond to wire 1/16 inch in gauge, and there's holes for 3 wires, 2 wires, and 1 wire. And the way that it works is you just loop it around through the holes, and it creates a very sturdy way to support your wire onto the rig. Now there's different connections on here, and all these can be taken apart and rearranged in any way you want. Some rigs, like this one here, you can see, allow wire to be attached to it and can swivel like this. Now again, like I say, you can also you can attach other pieces on here. You can attach, for example, this the surface gauge connection here, which can come off, and this holds just one piece of wire, and this wire is used as a pointer on your puppet. So if you're interested in what a surface gauge is, the way that you use the Bendy's rig as a surface gauge is you use your little surface gauge rig joint here, which you put in there on the end, and the pointer itself goes on the end of your puppet's fingertip, or whatever part you want to animate. So let's say if you want to move his arm down, you can see exactly how far you've moved the part. And in order to get smooth motion for your animation, surface gauges are really common to use in stop motion, because every time you move your part, if you move it, let's say this distance, and you remove your gauge and you snap your picture, you put it back in, and then you move your gauge down again to where the pointer is touching the tip of a finger, and then when you move it the next time, you move it the same distance, and that point always stays in one place in space, so you can see exactly how far you move that finger. So basically, you do this over and over. You just keep moving it the same distance, and you'll get a smooth motion of animation for your shot. Now, of course, there's a lot more complexity to it, such as easing in and easing out, and also the farther that you make the distance between the tip of your surface gauge and your end point, the wider the gaps are, the faster your animation will be. So surface gauges are really important to use, especially if you don't have a capture program to see how it looks. So all of these little nuts and bolts here can be screwed on, made to be very tight. There's holes all the way along the length of each of these bars, so you can make these longer or shorter. Also, you can add 1/16 inch gauge wire along all of these bars. Now, if you want to hold up a really heavy puppet, you can use any sort of object. You can use rolls of coins to hold this the rig in place. You can also use tie downs as well. So we don't sell tie downs with the unit, because if you buy our armature kits, you can get tie downs that way. So here's a tie down, and they go underneath in the hole. It's really easy to do. Just insert it in the bottom, through a hole in your set. Okay. So if you don't want to drill a hole in your set, there's other ways around that as well. But these are pretty much the most common and strongest ways to hold down your rig, is with the tie down itself. And these are M4 rods. The other way is to we have these little grooves, which are meant for screws. So you can put a screw right in the bottom to hold it down as well. And you can put different diameter screws as well. Here's one with the larger head, which you can see will fit like this. So that can hold it down. Now if you have a really soft set, let's say you made a set made from styrofoam and you want to hold this rig down, you can use straight pins right through these little holes in the bottom as well. There's also one final way to hold it down. That is to buy, these are sold separately on our site. These are some small disc magnets which go on the bottom. You put a drop of crazy glue in each of the indentations. Okay, so indentations look like this. And since the table here is made from steel, you can see that it holds it down and holds our, this is a prototype puppet. This is not actually one that we're going to sell. So there's no feet on here, but you can see that, you know, we can make this character jump if we wanted to. Now that requires a special connector joint. These are also sold separately because if you don't buy the armature kits, you won't need one of these. But it goes on the end, and of course you can manipulate the angle of his body. So if he's jumping, you don't want his body to sort of go like this, right? You want his body to be straight, so you can loosen and manipulate your puppet. So these are the Bendy's rigs. Like I said, you can use wire in these holes. You can just use the joints as they are. You can tie them down pretty much any way you like. And also I should probably mention that if you use rolls of coins on here, these little loops are used for either a string or zip ties, or you can use twist ties, or more. You can use more aluminum wire if you have some to adhere whatever heavy object you want onto your rig. So it's really that simple, and it's really strong, and I think it's probably the best rig you can get for your money. Alright, thanks for watching.